All right, thanks, Ken. We have a lot of things that are happening throughout the Vail Valley, and right now we have Homecare and Hospice of the Valley in. Celynn McClarrinon is with us, and Celynn, great to have you back.
Thank you.
I know that you do so much to care for people with dignity as they end their lives, but we also have to remember those who are left behind.
Yes.
And you do your grief seminars, and we'll have another one coming up. But you also today wanted to talk about what to do when children grieve.
Right. We as adults don't always know what to do with our children when they're having a loss of some sort. And so I thought it would be helpful to bring in some tips that adults or parents, teachers could use when they're talking to children about simple losses or even the big ones in our lives, that we've lost a pet, a parent, or even a friend has moved away to another place.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that can constitute loss. I mean, the major ones, those are a given. But even the break of your summer vacation and going back to school, a break in routine, it's all about change.
Yep. Even a simple love that you had and you broke up, it's all just kind of a loss of kind of conflicting emotions about things that you didn't know were going to happen to you.
Yeah. So now how do you start the conversation?
A lot of times it's the best for the parent to go first, to talk about a loss that they've experienced in their life. We talk about, when you get on an airplane, they talk about putting the oxygen mask on first and then putting it on the child. It's the same sort of thing, that if an adult were to talk about some loss that they've had in their life so that a child knows that this is a normal experience, then they would be able to open up knowing that mom and dad have had the same sort of experience.
Wow, I can relate to that. Okay, perfect. So the adult goes first.
Yes.
And then how about, getting them to draw it out of them? You got to be very careful. It's kind of a slippery slope.
Yep. It's best to be as patient as you can. You don't really want to force a child to talk about something that they're not really ready to talk about. So it's probably engaging them a little bit and then letting them decide when it's time to talk. It's also good not to keep asking a child, how are you feeling? What's going on? Because that is taking what they're feeling in their heart, which is an emotional thing, up into an intellectual thing where they can't really comprehend it. And they might just say, I'm fine, and not really talk to you.
And that's the big thing, is a grief, it's emotional. It's not intellectual. You can't treat it like that. And you have to really, one of your tips here is listen with your heart and not your head. So as the receiver, when you're hearing this information, you really have to go here instead of here.
Try not to judge or analyze anything that the child's saying. Just honestly listen to it and say, I love you. I can't imagine how you feel right now.
Okay. And then one of your other tips is don't tell them to, don't feel sad. Oh, your kitty died. Oh, don't feel sad about that. I mean, you need to let them own this.
If we say don't feel sad or don't feel scared about something, that shuts them off from the grieving process, because grief in itself is sad and is scary. So we don't want to tell them to not do that when it's the normal and natural response to a loss of any kind.
Okay. And then you have another grief course coming up, and this is a 10-week program.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. You give them some reading materials, and I can imagine, I mean, this can really help the person. So that starts on what date?
Starts February 27th.
Okay.
It's a 10-week class, so it kind of takes us through April, the middle of April, so it's right after ski season is when it ends. It costs $60, and that is a donation to Hospice. Right now I'm in the middle of a group, and it's been an amazing experience. So I encourage anyone who has a loss that they feel like they've experienced a lot of pain with, that this class is something that can help people move forward and beyond the pain.
Amazing. An amazing group here, the Hospice and Home Care of the Vail Valley. 569-7455 can help get you set up or answer any questions about grieving and children. We'll be back.